Welcome to the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast with Phil Graham. We help you master Facebook ads and give you an unfair advantage over your competition. Are you ready? Let's go.
What's up, podcast family? Welcome to the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast, episode 442. I'm Phil Graham, and today this episode starts with a question. Should you let Facebook's AI pick your audience? It's October 28th. We got 3 days until Halloween here in the US, and I hope you guys are doing amazing. This episode is going to have something for everybody because this is talked about so much, and so many people, in my opinion, get this so very wrong. So Meta keeps telling advertisers, just trust the system. Just use Advantage Plus audiences, Advantage Plus everything. Basically, we'll just do it all for you. Just set it and forget it. But when you do that, sometimes you give up tons of control. And what you should be doing is thinking of Meta's AI like an intern. Think of it as an intern. Let it do some of the work for you, some of the heavy lifting, but it should never be making the final call or the only call in what you're doing. And today I'm going to tell you why and what you should do instead. So my friends, as always, I want to keep this episode short, sweet, full of value, and very actionable. But before we jump in, if you want to get in touch, whether you're looking for some help with your ads through coaching one-on-one, which is way better in my opinion than any other way to learn, or maybe you want somebody to run your ads for you. For either of those things, just go to my website, philgrahamdigital.com, or DM me on Instagram at philgrahamdigital, and let's connect. So when it comes to Meta's AI, picking your audience, why is it a big deal? You know, Meta's AI tools are getting smarter and smarter, but less transparent and giving you a lot less control. And there's a lot of advertisers that think, you know, if we just automate everything, it's going to be efficient. But then they freak out when their costs go up and sometimes the results go down and they don't know why and they have no control. That can be a big problem. So here's the truth. AI audiences, Advantage Plus stuff, those tools are amazing if you feed it the right data. Otherwise, if you're not using it right, you're essentially flying blind. And these days, if you're only using Advantage Plus without testing other stuff, I think you're crazy. Obviously, there's a few exceptions here and there, but for the most part, that's insane. So let's talk about when you should let Meta/Facebook and Instagram and Threads automatically choose your audience and automate things through Advantage Plus and their AI. If you're only doing that, if you're only doing Advantage Plus, then when should you do it? I would say never. But if you're doing it as part of a plan where you're also testing other things, using other non-Advantage Plus options, that is a whole different story. That's like the best of both worlds. So let's say you're doing it right. You're being strategic and you're going to use Advantage Plus as part of a plan. Then when I would let Meta/Facebook choose my audience would be in a couple different ideal situations. If you have a new account with no data or limited data, that's a great opportunity to really try and leverage Advantage Plus. Also, if you're just looking for a big, broad audience, that's a great time to use Advantage Plus. If you've got a product or a service that has really wide appeal or usage, and maybe you know, there's tons of different buyer personas or avatars and types of people that you sell to, you could sell to almost anyone. That could be another really good reason for using Advantage Plus and having it choose your audience for you. And then another one I would say is, let's say you've been advertising and you already have a proven offer that you know converts really well and you want to scale it. That might be a good reason to have them choose it for you as well. Now, when you are doing it and you're letting them choose your audience for you, you have to pay special extra attention to your creatives because the creatives and then the performance of the ads themselves are really what guide what happens next and guide the algorithm. So if you don't have amazing creatives, then you're really putting yourself in a tough situation. So those are some reasons why you should let Facebook choose your audience as part of a plan, not by itself, but as part of a plan, let's talk about some reasons when you shouldn't, when you should take more control and, put your hand on the wheel instead of the AI. And there's a lot of different situations where that's going to apply. So any kind of situation where you might have an offer that's very specific or niche to a very specific defined audience, or maybe you have a high ticket offer, but regardless, the relevance is super important. That could be a very good reason for you guys to take control yourself and to not use Advantage Plus, or use it, but take control with a different campaign and do some additional targeting yourself. Also, anytime you have really strong, like what I would call first party data, like data that really matters, like retargeting, maybe you have a customer list, you have an email list, past buyers, past leads, any kind of retargeting, that's a great opportunity to target specifically just those types of people with a non-Advantage Plus audience. And that's another great reason to take more control. And then one of my favorite ones is with testing. So if you're testing new ads, new messaging, and you really want to isolate different things, whether it's an image, a video, a headline, an ad angle, a hook, and you really want to match that to a specific avatar or pain point, and you want to go through and see what works and what doesn't, that is another great reason to take control, because when you do campaigns that are not just Advantage Plus, you're doing non-Advantage Plus where you can control more of what happens and you can more easily find out not only what worked and what didn't, but why, which is even more important. That can be a huge game changer for you guys. And then when you get something rolling really good, then you can try automating it and scaling it with Advantage Plus. Sometimes that still doesn't work great, but other times it just takes off and crushes it. So again, I'm not beating up on Advantage Plus. I like it. I use it all the time, but typically I don't use it by itself. I also do strategic targeting and creatives based off of a lot of information, skill, knowledge, etc. And sometimes those can do a lot better. So that's really important. Here's the thing. Here's the takeaway from this. You don't have to pick sides. Smart advertisers test both and do both. Don't just do Advantage Plus AI. Do your own audiences. Do your own ad copy. It's so important. Create some audiences that are avatars of your ideal buyers, and then match ad copy specifically to those people, specifically to a pain point or a challenge that you might help them solve. Don't just do AI. Don't just do one or the other. Do both. Remember, smart advertisers do both. And remember, like I said at the beginning of the episode, think of Meta's AI as an intern, not the boss. Let it do some work for you, but never let it make the final call or the only call in what you're doing. And as always, just a reminder, it's always important to point out that every business is unique. Results can vary. There's no guaranteed outcomes. So always keep that in mind. So my friends, I hope this was helpful. Make sure you're subscribed to the podcast. I've got new episodes every single Tuesday. I've been doing this for over 8 years. If you want to go deeper, I've got more resources on my website, philgrahamdigital.com. But today, episode 442 is in the books. Thank you guys so much for being here. Next week, we're going to be talking about why people scroll past your Facebook and Instagram ads and how you can stop it. But until then, I hope you guys have an amazing week. If you're in the US, have a fun Halloween. And I will talk to you on next week's episode. Peace out.
Thanks for listening to the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast. Please remember to subscribe and share this with all your friends. For show notes, more tips, and to learn more about Phil, please visit philgrahamdigital.com/podcast.